You know, as parents, we all want the best for our children. We want them to be happy, kind, confident, and strong. We want them to live lives that are meaningful and maybe, if we're honest, a little bit easier than ours were. And because we love them so much, we start to shape their world. We plan their schedules, choose their schools, pick their activities, sometimes even their friends. We call it guidance. But sometimes, without meaning to, we slip from guiding into forcing. Guiding means walking beside your child, holding their hand while they learn to take their own steps. Forcing means pulling them along the path we think they should take. Guidance says, I trust you to explore. Force says, I know what's best for you. But here's the thing, our children are not blank pages for us to write on. They're stories already being written, in their own voice, in their own handwriting. And our job isn't to hold the pen, it's to teach them how to write their own story with courage and kindness. Sometimes we mistake love for direction. We say, I just want you to succeed. But to a child, that can sound like, I'll only be proud of you if you succeed. A child who feels forced often learns to perform instead of express. They start asking, what will make my parents happy, instead of what makes me happy? They can lose touch with their natural curiosity, the part of them that loves to experiment, make mistakes, and discover who they are. Think about that for a moment. What if your child's greatest strength, the thing that will one day light up their life, is something you haven't even noticed yet because it doesn't fit your plan? Guidance begins with listening, not just to what your child says, but to who they are when they say it. Ask questions like, what was your favorite part of the day? What are you curious about lately? How did that make you feel? And then listen, really listen. Not to correct, not to fix, but to understand. When you give a child your full attention, you give them permission to be themselves. And that's where true guidance begins, not from control, but from connection. Guiding your child means letting them try things, even if you know they might not succeed. If your child wants to take up painting, even though they might lose interest in a week, let them. If they want to try a sport they've never played before, let them. Because every attempt teaches them something about themselves. Failure isn't the opposite of growth, it is growth. When you guide without forcing, you create space for your child to fall down and get back up, to build resilience and confidence that no amount of control can give. Now, guiding doesn't mean letting your child do whatever they want. Boundaries are essential, but they should be built with compassion, not control. A forced boundary sounds like, because I said so. A guided boundary sounds like, I understand you want to stay up late, but your body needs rest to grow strong. Let's find a bedtime that works. See the difference? It's not about giving in, it's about giving context. When a child understands why, they're more likely to respect what. Every child is born with their own dreams, their own spark. Maybe your dream for them was medicine, but their dream is music. Maybe you imagined a quiet life for them, but they crave adventure. It can be hard, deeply hard, to let go of the dream you've built for your child. But remember this, your child's purpose is not to fulfill your story, it's to live theirs. And when you step back, when you guide instead of direct, you'll start to see the person they're becoming. And it's often far more incredible than you could have planned. Children learn less from what we say and more from what we model. If you want your child to be confident, show them what it looks like to take risks. If you want them to be kind, show kindness, especially when it's difficult. If you want them to believe in themselves, let them see you believe in yourself. Guiding your child begins with guiding your own growth, because they are always watching, always learning from the way we live. When you guide, not force, you give your child a rare gift, the freedom to become who they're meant to be. You become a safe place they return to, not a rule they rebel against. And one day when they're grown, they'll look back and realize, you didn't just raise them, you walked with them, you believed in them, even when they were still learning to believe in themselves. So take a breath. step back when you need to. Trust the person your child is becoming. They don't need perfection from you, they need presence. Guide them with patience, love, and faith. Because in the end, the goal isn't to raise a child who follows your path, it's to raise a person who can walk their own.